righty, I call this December 13th, 2023 meeting of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to order at our slightly unusual time here at 3:30. First order of business, I would like to welcome our new Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Albuquerque, representing Mayor Tim Keller, Samantha Sengel, to the board. Welcome. Councillor Jones is excused, and just want to say on behalf of the board and the Water Authority, I would like to thank Councillor Jones for 16 years of exemplary service on the Water Authority board, probably easily more than all of us combined here, probably. And Commissioner Barboa and Trustee Benavides are excused this afternoon. All other members are present. We'll get things going. Item number 2 is our invocation pledge of allegiance. We'll have a moment of silence, and then the pledge will be led by Council President Davis. Thank you, Councillor Davis, and also just want to recognize that this will also be his last meeting with us here on the board after a number of years of service here with Water Authority and, of course, with the City Council. So it's been a pleasure to serve with both Councillor Davis and Councillor Jones for the brief time, and thanks for being here. Item number 3, we have our approval of minutes. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the October 18th minutes. Is there a second? Second from Vice Chair Feeblecorn. Seeing no discussion, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed, the motion carries. We have no proclamations and awards tonight, and that takes us to our public comments section. So, Ms. Salas, do we have anyone signed up to speak? Okay. Ms. Hebert, I know that you're regular here. You know the rules. You'll have 3 minutes to speak with a warning at 2.5 minutes.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can, loud and clear. Welcome.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
Good afternoon. To begin with, I'd like to express my appreciation for the first quarter financial report, which is your C-2323. I think it's for the first time ever a progress report on the goals and objectives is included, and I wanted to say yay. I've repeatedly mentioned the need for the region to work together to reduce water consumption, and the new regional water planning statute will provide a path. However, while the necessary rulemaking gets underway, our region cannot wait. The 1997 MRG water budget, developed for the 2004 water plan, showed the region was over-consuming our renewable supply. We took a lot of actions, and urban usage, as measured by gallons per capita per day, declined, as did agricultural diversions. At the same time, climate changes are countering some of the water savings already achieved. Higher evapotranspiration and evaporation will impact deliveries not under any specific water provider. The bottom line is the MRG is still over-consuming what the Rio Grande Compact apportions us, and at the end of the year, we will probably find ourselves with an increased deficit over above the 93,000 acre feet we already owe. So one of the things, and we keep on adding uses, but one of the things that we could do is to develop a water budget with all of us putting in the data of what we're consuming and what's going in, so that we have faith in it, that it's depicting a good picture of today and tomorrow's scenarios. So with the state legislative priorities, which is C-2322, may I suggest that in addition to the 6 projects mentioned, that a request be made to obtain funds to develop a budget. At the same time, I would just like to say that the water report shows that water use is not declining as it must to ensure the success of Water 2120. And so perhaps more actions need to be taken, maybe under stage 2 and implementing them now. And with that, I want to thank you very much for all the service that you've had on the board, and hope that you enjoy a wonderful holiday season and see some of you next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hebert. Points well taken, and I just wanted to comment quickly that in regards to the water budget issue that you mentioned and funding for that and for regional water planning in general, the county has actually already appropriated $200,000 to begin kickstarting that effort in the region with our partners, of course, the water utility, MRGCB, the city, others. So we're in very early stages, but the county did appropriate that money, and it's there, and we're looking to make sure that we form that and get ahead of the curve. So thank you. Item number 6, our announcements. Our next scheduled meeting is going to be January 10th, 2024 at 5 p.m. right here in the council chambers. So introductions. Tonight we have one item for introduction, R23-48, which is an introduction and immediate action authorizing the and I'm not, do I have to read this whole thing? Okay, that's a lot. Authorizing the execution and delivery of a water project fund loan and grant agreement. And so this resolution is also being presented under approvals. So I'll need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and consider this for immediate action, and a vote is needed for that action. So I'll make a motion. Any discussion or questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed, the motion carries. So just to be clear here, Jordan, we're considering this under approvals, so we're just going to keep going. All right, sounds good. So that takes us to our consent agenda. We've got several items on here that you've all been able to review in your packets. So with that, I'll make a motion for approval of the consent agenda. Second from Vice Chair Feeblecorn. Any discussion or questions here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed, the motion carries. That takes us to our approvals, which is now slightly modified. So item A is R23-42, authorizing an agreement for water and sewer service for Santa Monica water and sewer improvements. We have Chris Cadena here to present.
Hello. Mr. Chair, members of the board, this is for a development agreement for a single-family dwelling that is located on the south side of Santa Monica, just east of Eubank. And the house is required to expand water and sewer lines that front the property to obtain that service. And service is contingent upon the developer paying utility expansion charges as well as water resource charges. I'll send for any questions.
Not seeing any up here. I'll make a motion for approval. Have a second? Second from Commissioner Baca. Any further discussion here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. Motion carries. Takes us to item B, R23-43. Again, another sewer and water service agreement for 9710 Ranchitos. Mr. Cadena.
Yes, hello. Mr. Chair, members of the board, this is a development agreement for another proposed residence located along Ranchitos, just south of Paseo within the unincorporated areas of Bernalillo County. And this residence is required to extend water and sanitary sewer to obtain service for this development. And the developer is required to pay UECs as well as water resource charges. Is that for any questions?
Not seeing any up here. Do I have a motion? Commissioner Baca, second from Councilor Davis. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. We'll keep moving on. That takes us to C, R23-44, authorizing the removal of certain uncollectible accounts from the authority's receivable records for FY 2019 and prior. And we have Susan Lander to present.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the board. This item is a request to the board to authorize us to remove uncollectible debt that is greater than 4 years of age. This quarter, the amount we're requesting is $60,968.96. This is an item we bring every quarter before the board. We routinely go through our accounts receivable, and anything that is over than 4 years, we're authorized by the state to write off. Any questions?
Not seeing any questions here. I'll make a motion for approval. Second from Councilor Davis. And anything further here? Not seeing any. All in favor say aye. Aye. Carries unanimously. Thank you. And item D, R 23-45, authorizing the executive director to enter into an agreement with the MRGCD to subalot storage space in Abiquiu Reservoir. Director Sanchez.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is a partnership with the Middle Rio Grande Conservancy District to allow them to store up to 40,000 acre-feet of water at Abiquiu Reservoir, which the Water Authority has under its control under a lease with the Corps of Engineers. This storage agreement will help them store water while Albado is under repairs and they cannot store water there. This will help them serve their irrigators efficiently. It's a good partnership with the Water Authority and them. It'll allow them to store San Juan Chama water and native water for the first time. And this is consistent with other storage agreements we've had. Be happy to answer any questions.
I do have a question. Is this the first time that we've done this at Abiquiu with the MRGCD, or is this
No.
just renewing the agreement?
We've done this before.
I just have a comment, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank you, Mark, for, Mr. Sanchez, Executive Director, for doing this. This is really important partnership, as you said, and that's a really important connection that we have between MRGCD and the water. Thank you.
I think the perception is that we're at odds with the Conservancy District and irrigators, but we're not. We work in partnership 90% of the time.
Yeah, I think this is a great agreement. So with that, Commissioner Baca, do you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
And I'll second. Anything further here? Not seeing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. None opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to our addition to the agenda here. Item E, R 23-48, which is the introduction and immediate action authorizing this execution and delivery of a loan and grant agreement.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Chairman Olivas, I stand before you to present R 2348. I will not be reading the whole title either. This is a loan grant agreement for the Southside Water Reclamation Plan outfall project. The board approved the application back in September of 2023. We are now receiving the $3.7 million in grant loan, 10% in loan, which is $370,000, and grant 90% was grant, $3.3 million in grant funding. The Water Authority is providing a 10% match, and that comes from capital funds. We're asking this item to be moved immediate action due to the fact that we need to meet NMFA's closing date for January of 2024. So I stand for any questions and urge your support.
Questions up here? What's the interest rate we're looking at on that 10%?
That is a good question. I have no answer.
Hi, it's 0.25, which is an administrative fee.
Pretty good rate?
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. It's a great project and a great partnership, again, with MRGCD, City of Albuquerque, improving an open space area and making some improvements. So I'll make a motion to approve. Second from Councilor Feeblecorn. Anything further, questions or comments? Oh. All right. All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. And I think this is a similar item here, item F, R 23-49, authorizing the utility to submit an application for the River Stewardship Program for the outfall.
Yes, sir. So once again, it's the same project. We're asking for $2.2 million for the application. This application would be all grant funding. And again, it would benefit the WRP, or the South Side Water Reclamation Plant. And it's part of, or the project aligns with our Water 2120 plan. So, and then the deadline for that is January 4th. So that's why we're moving this
And just out of curiosity, what's the overall anticipated project cost on that? So we're getting this grant funding, and we've gotten some capital outlay. We've got this coming, and then we've got another capital outlay request in the legislative priorities. So what's the kind of full picture on this?
About 6 million, or 6.5.
Okay, great. Do I have a motion on this item? Councilor Feeblecorn, I'll second. Any further discussion here? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Takes us to item G, which is our federal legislative priorities for 2024, item C23-21. Director Sanchez.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we have funding request and legislative request. We have 3 funding requests. One is the south to north pipeline, which would allow us to take excess reuse water from the south side of our operation to the north and allow for connections in between along the city. The other one is aquifer storage and recovery, which would allow us to inject excess surface water into the aquifer as a drought reserve for pumping later. And lastly, Carnwell water and wastewater improvements. In terms of legislative requests, continue to support appropriations for current Air Force Base cleanup, as well as the Sandia Mixed Waste Landfill, and continue to support native water storage at Abiquiu Reservoir, and lastly, supporting the Endangered Species Act Collaborative Program. Stand for any questions.
Vice Chair Feeblecorn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the first funding request, the reuse program, what's the total cost on that and how far along are we?
Mr. Chair, Vice Chair Feeblecorn, the estimated total cost today is about $30 million. We're about $5 million into it with planning and design. So it's several years out.
And then Mr. Chair, I did not see in here, unless it's included in here, the reuse line that's taking the place of the Windrock storage facility. Is that part of this, or is it a separate line item that we need funding for?
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair Feeblecorn, that is a separate project.
And it's not in our legislative
That's already
priorities?
appropriated.
It's fully appropriate?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So to dovetail on that, just to clarify, so the 5 million that we have for this is not the 5 million that we have for
Correct.
the Windrock reuse. Gotcha. Okay. And another question I have is on the Carnwell project. I know that I assume we're still waiting on sort of the federal fiscal year to ever end, since it keeps continuing, to see what will happen with Senator Heinrich's request for us in Carnwell, and this is renewing that request and asking for additional funding.
Correct. Mr. Chairman, Senator Heinrich requested 1.2 million, and we're optimistic if Congress ever approves a budget that it could be in there.
Great. And I'll just take one more point here just to comment, since it's on the list here, in regards to the Kirtland Air Force Base bulk fuels facility. I just wanted to thank our staff that actually took me out there on a tour. We went and toured some of the monitoring well sites and took a tour with the Kirtland staff as well, and some of their scientific staff. That was very insightful. It was good to see the work that the authority has done and what Kirtland is doing. And there's definitely plenty of work to do, and I maintain many concerns, and I'm glad that we're keeping our eye on this and continuing to support this in our federal legislative request, because it's an issue that's not going away, and unfortunately, at the pace that it's moving, it's not going to go away anytime soon. Yes.
If I may, since this is my first time reviewing this list, I see that it is related to its modifications and kind of reflect last year's goals, but I wondered what the total price tag is of this list, or what our total ask is across this list.
Mr. Chairman, Member Single, probably over $100 million. But the reality is we might get $1 million or $2 million out of it.
All right, if there's no further questions on our federal legislative priorities, we can move to a vote. I'll make a motion to approve. Second from Member Single. Anything further? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. When opposed, the motion carries. And Mr. Sanchez, again, will now talk about our 2024 state legislative priorities, C-23-22.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we have 6 requests. One is, again, Aquifer Storage and Recovery for $2 million. Thomas Wells Arsenic Treatment Plant, $4.3 million. Again, South to North Pipeline, $3 million. Carnwell Water Improvements, $2 million. Carnwell Wastewater Improvements, $2.5 million. And the South Side Outfall Project, $2 million. Odds we will not receive all of that, but certainly any appropriations will help us further these projects.
Any questions from the board? Yes, Vice Chair Feeblecoin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really appreciate number 7 on here, what we would be opposing. But I keep hearing from lawmakers that, you know, it's going to be the year of water. And so I just want to make sure that we're in a position where we're actually reviewing any bills that are filed that are good, so that we can also offer support for those as they come. I just want to make sure there's a system in place for that.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair Feeblecorn, we certainly will do that and forward those to you as they get introduced.
Great, thank you.
And I just wanted to take a moment also to comment on the Carnwell project, water wastewater project. And again, thank the authority staff for their really great work on this. We've had several meetings over the last couple of months, and our most recent one with Representative Dixon, NMFA, NMD. Really great example of collaboration and coming up with some good ideas for how to streamline the project and reduce the overall cost, but continue to deliver services and do it in a more efficient way. So just wanted to thank the staff and Blues and others that have been working on this and making this happen. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve. Second from Member Single. Anything further? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed, the motion carries unanimously. And our final item in approvals is item I, C-23-23, our first quarter financial report. Welcome back.
Here to present our FY24 first quarter finance and goals and objectives report. First off, we'll start with our revenues. Our FY24 revenue budget was around $248 million, which was about $3.7 million higher than FY23. And of our revenues, 98% of our revenue is generated from our water and wastewater rates. For the first quarter, revenue received was $61.1 million, which is about 24.6% of our budget. So we're on track through the first quarter with our revenues. Moving on to expenses. Our expense budget for FY24 was $248 million, and through the first quarter, we've spent about $80.9 million, which is roughly 33% of the budget. The two biggest items in the first quarter were power and chemical expenses, which were about $7.1 million, and that's about 33% of the budget for those line items. And we also have our monthly transfer to CIP, and then we also do a transfer to debt service. And for the first quarter, that transfer was about $36.6 million. In January, we make our annual principal payment for most of our bonds, and then we also make the semi-annual interest payment. So even though we're a little bit above projection for the first quarter, it's in line because we knew we had that big debt payment. So next, we have our working capital and our days cash on hand. And working capital is basically the balance of our revenues minus our expenses. So it's kind of what we have on hand. And our target that we've set at the Water Authority is to have 1/12 of our total expense budget available through the fiscal year. And we're slightly below that target, but we figured through the fiscal year, we will build up our cash balance. And then the next figure we have is our days cash on hand, which is currently 226 days. And this is basically the number of days that the Water Authority can cover expenses using available cash without any additional revenue coming in. So we have almost a full 3/4 of a year worth of funds available. So we're standing in good shape. Next up, we'll move to our debt service fund and our debt service coverage ratio. We set a minimum for our senior lien of 1.33 and for our senior and subordinate lien of 1.20. We are currently standing at 1.76 for senior lien and 1.57 for our senior and subordinate lien together. Now, what this ratio is it shows us what our cash flow is available to pay our current debt obligations. So the 1.57 ratio means that we have enough operating income to cover 157% of our annual debt payments. So we can more than cover our annual debt payments for the year. And we're moving to our capital funds. And on the screen, you'll see a listing of the top project areas by expense so far in FY24. Our CIP expense budget is about $244 million. And so far for first quarter of FY24, we've spent about $10.9 million. Usually this time of year is a slow time of year for us, and things will kick up through the end of the winter and into the spring. And these funds also include any of the ARPA funds that we received through the county and also grant funds. Okay. Next, we have a slide on our cash and our investments. And the Water Authority has set forth an investment policy that has 3 priorities. Our first priority is safety, and our ultimate goal is to reduce our risk and have a low risk, and we do that by having a well-planned investment policy and a diversified and well-balanced investment portfolio. And you can see we have various investments in different instruments. We don't want to have all of our money in one pot. And the second priority is liquidity. We need to make sure that we have ready access to our funds in case we need them. So you can see we have about half of our cash and investments are in overnight instruments. That means we can tap into that money basically real time and get it if we need to. And then once we satisfy the safety and liquidity, then that's when we can go into our third priority, which is yield. And that's the money that we can earn from our investments. So once we know we're covered with safety and liquidity, then our object is to get as much money as we can out of our investments. So that's kind of it for the financial portion of it. And next we move on to our performance scorecard. And I think some of you are familiar with the scorecard that we prepare every quarter. And these are indicators and measures that are designed to help our departments improve their efficiency and effectiveness. And pretty much every department in the Water Authority is covered by one of these measures. And we meet quarterly with the departments, and we go over their measures And we look to see if there's ways that they can improve, or if they're doing well, then, we congratulate them and encourage them to continue doing what they've been doing. Next up are, every year, the Water Authority puts together our one-year objectives, and our objectives are tied to our 5 goal areas. And each quarter, we also meet with our departments, and they give us an update on where they stand on their objectives. And so we've put together some slides of a highlight of some of the objectives that are for FY24. So for the first goal, which is water supply and operations, we have objective 1.7, which is for our groundwater division. They're adding checklists to our Maximo asset management system. And some of these checklists are to deal with the exterior reservoir inspections. And so far, they've completed 68 inspections. They're doing reservoir roof inspections. And we fully expect that all the electronic forms will be in Maximo by the end of this fiscal year. Another water supply objective is to locate water leaks using our water leak technology. And our leak detection group so far has surveyed 212 miles, located 8 leaks, and saved an estimated 6.8 million gallons of water so far this year. They're a very effective group. Next up is Goal 2, which is our wastewater collection and operations. Objective 2.10 is to install AMI, which is our automated meter devices, at 3 vacuum station surface areas. The Water Authority is the first utility to utilize this technology in our vacuum system. By fiscal year end, we expect to install these devices in 8 areas throughout the Water Authority, and by the end of FY25, we should have it in all 10 target areas. And these devices allow us to have a quick response if we come upon any low vacuum conditions. And objective 2.14 is the implementation of our mercury minimization plan. And currently all field work is completed, and the report to be submitted to the EPA and the Pueblo de Isleta is projected to be sent out by the end of this quarter, second quarter, so actually by the end of this month. For our goal area number 3, which is customer services, we have objective 3.4, which is the installation of our AMI meters throughout the Water Authority. The target this year is to install 20,000 meters. And so far, our water crews have installed, through the end of the first quarter, 3,700 meters. And this is all work done by our crews and not contractors. So we have specialized crews that go out there and handle all this work. Objective 3.5 is customer conversations meetings. And the meetings for this year are going to be scheduled for late winter, early spring. And the topic of these meetings are the non-functional turf removal. Goal number 4 is our business planning and management goal. And objective 4.8 was to establish a grant and loan funding plan. And from what you've heard earlier this evening, you can tell we have a robust plan and a robust program going on, and we hope to continue that. We've submitted applications to the Water Trust Board, Water Smart funding, and then congressional direct spending plans also. Objective 4.6, we have objective to increase our renewable and green energy generation. And through the first quarter, our our Southside Water Reclamation Plant power generation had generated 40% of power from solar panels and cogen digester gas fueled generation. And last but not least is our goal area number 5, which is organization development. Objective 5.5 was to establish an injury prevention program throughout the Water Authority. And this was in conjunction with our Safety and Risk Department and HR. And through the first quarter, they completed 23 ergonomic training presentations, 12 on-site ergonomic assessments. And for the first quarter, our injury hours were 142 hours. As compared to last fiscal year for the same time, we had 809 hours. So we're seeing a great improvement in our injury hours. And then objective 5.8, we developed a mentorship program, and a pilot program began in quarter 1. We had 8 mentors paired with 8 mentees, and they were put together so that they were not from the same department. They were from different departments. And the feedback we've received so far from both the mentors and the mentees has all been positive and really appreciative of the program. So we look to expand that in future periods. And that is it for my presentation. I stand for any questions or comments.
Very thorough presentation. Thank you so much. I know that Counselor Davis has his hand up.
Thank you so much. Very briefly, after all that, back to the very first slide, but it's an easy one.
Okay.
We don't have to go back.
Okay.
I noticed that in mentioning our first quarter expenditures, in some of those categories, we had expended as much as 33% of our annual in the first quarter, which is usually somewhere around 25% of the year.
Right.
Can you just remind me, are we on track for those, or is this cost increases? Are there other reasons those are up, or is it just because of seasonal fluctuations and expenses and requirements?
It's actually all of the above.
Oh, good.
You know, we have some line items,
No
you know, especially power and chemicals, especially chemicals. We've seen huge cost increases, and it's not only due to inflation, but then there's transportation increases, supply chain increases that we're still seeing. In some areas, yes, it is cyclical because of the time of year. We're avidly looking at our expenses and monitoring, and at the end of this month, we should have a better idea of where we stand with, especially like the chemicals and some of our other operating costs that, you know, through the way the economy is lately, that have risen. And, you know, we'll need to adjust and look at those items.
Mr. Chair, the speaker beat me to it. I was going to ask if we're sort of on track in this quarter, but it sounds like we're, as staff always does, a great job of keeping up with that, and hoping that we can make those internal adjustments going forward.
Yes.
Thank you. I won't be here, but I'm sure someone will pay attention. Okay. I'll be watching from home. Thank you.
Councilor Fiebel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have a quick question on the AMI meter installation. A couple of questions on it. First, if we get through the 20,000 meter installations this year, where does that put us in getting all meters installed?
I believe we're currently at 78%, but I will refer to Mr. Warren. He's in charge of that program.
Thank you. Sorry to make you come back.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, we're currently at about 78%, so whenever we finish the 20,000 for this year, it'll leave us about 28,000, and we'll be on track to hopefully be 100% complete within 2 years, is the goal. Because as we do it, we kind of have a law of, as the resources go and change out more meters, we have more resources to change out those meters, and we already have the meters in-house from the grant funding they've got. We've also applied for more grant funding, so the goal is within 2 years will be 100%.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And are we on track to reach the 20,000 goal for this year? I mean, we're less than a quarter in.
Yeah, it's usually a little bit slower in the winter because we're out there, the meter boxes are frozen, so we got to go out there and do it. And as we get closer to the end of the project, there's a lot more. We got to do full rehabs on the meter boxes where we could do plug and play before. Now we're out there doing entire meter box changeouts also.
Thank you,
Great.
Mr. Chair.
Other questions on this? Okay, I have a couple. One is just a comment, actually, just saying that our objective on customer conversations, I was able to attend one of the non-functional turf removal sessions, and those were really well done by our staff and our contractors that are helping facilitate that, just to collect really good input and encourage discussion and with a little bit of an education component too on what that means and collecting feedback. So those are really well thought out. My other question might be a little bit unfair, and we can follow up with it later. But on this mercury minimization plan, it just got me thinking about something that I learned that the county is working on, doing some investigation on microplastics and other emerging contaminants in our river water supply and in some of our outflows from our storm drains. And I was just curious if, and I learned in this process that one of the largest sources of microplastics is our clothes, actually, so through wastewater. And so just kind of wondering, again, this is way off subject, but sort of in here. Are we doing any kind of monitoring? I know that we participate in some of the emerging contaminant stuff, but do we have anything in there that we're working on or thinking about?
Yes, I'll defer to Ms. Sharon, who's in charge of all of that.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. We have not started any microplastics monitoring yet. We have done some emerging contaminants, and we have a report on that. Our most recent report on that is on their website, and it's from 2019. And that tracks from the river all the way through drinking water, wastewater, and back out to the river. But microplastics, we have not looked at yet. It is on the list in the future.
Just putting a plug in for that.
Okay, thank you.
We should definitely look out for it. Anything further here? I believe this is a receipt be noted item, so I'll make a motion to approve. Second, Councilor Davis. No, okay. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you so much. That concludes our voting business for this afternoon. Takes us to other business. Item A, OB 23-28. We'll hear from Mr. Eric Harrigan about the results of our bond sale. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, Chairman and board members. Eric Harrigan with RBC Capital Markets. So today I'm going to report on the bond sale that the Water Utility Authority had. As you may recall, the board authorized to issue your bonds through the New Mexico Finance Authority. They do what is called a simultaneous pricing process where they go into the market, they issue bonds, and then they pass those rates on to the underlying borrowers. The Water Utility Authority was by far the largest borrower of those bonds that were sold. I hope I do this right. Press down. Yes, there we go. So the authority sold bonds to generate $121 million in net proceeds, $56 million of those for basic needs projects, $65 million for other special projects. The TIC on the bonds was 4.30%. The bonds do have an optional redemption date, July 1 of 2033. The authority has the option at that time to either redeem or refund those bonds should interest rates warrant, and the final maturity is 2048. The basic needs bonds were sold over a 12-year period. The special projects were sold over a 25-year period, and I will note that all of these complies with the delegation that the board approved as well as the authority's policies. Just a couple of notes that I wanted to make on the pricing. So when the New Mexico Finance Authority did go into the market, they received a little over 500 million in orders for and they were issuing a total of 162. So significant investor demand for the bonds. Because of that, we were able to, or the underwriters were able to lower interest rates across the board for all of the maturities. And so the authority achieved a slightly lower interest rate than what we had anticipated going into the pricing. On the following page, this is the maturity schedule for the bonds. Again, the basic needs are sold over 12 years and the other projects over a 25-year. And the bonds were structured to take advantage of the authority's very attractive debt profile. As you can see on page 4, your debt is rapidly pays off. That allows for the authority to issue additional bonds in a couple of years in accordance with its existing program and continue to just maintain its existing debt service payments. We have a few slides on the market. I really won't go over them, other than to say that we continue to see a tremendous amount of volatility in the interest rate market, but we were pleased with the results that the authority was able to achieve through the Finance Authority borrowing. So, and with that, I'd be happy to answer questions.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I would
Member
just,
Sangha.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just make a comment, it's not a question, but the rate is incredibly favorable from what I would have expected.
The interest rates were substantially better than what we were anticipating going into the pricing. I would say probably 2 weeks before, we were looking at a rate of closer to 4.85%. So we were very pleased with the results of the case.
So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Great job.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for giving us this report on those results. Takes us to our final item, item B, OB 23-29, our water report. Let's see if we have, yes, Mr. Bustos is in the back there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Good to see you all. I'll be talking about the water report and pretty much our drought status according to our drought planning. Right now, things are starting to move in favorable conditions for us. Certainly last month, this map looked quite different. But things are starting to move positively, especially with the precipitation that we got in November, and now December is starting to look pretty good. So it seems like El Niño conditions are finally here. So hopefully that draws good precipitation for the rest of the winter. What that means is that right now we're at stage 0, which pretty much triggers staff to start planning for a campaign on drought and start looking at ways that we can mitigate any upsurge in demand. But right now in the winter season, because demand tends to be really low, we're really planning for the spring season. But if conditions continue to improve, we might be out of stage 0 altogether in the next 2 months. We are working on other conservation resiliency projects that are connected to Water 2120. As the chair mentioned, we're working on our non-functional turf removal strategy, which is a pledge we did with other 32 users to further look at conservation and drive demand here in Albuquerque. But certainly, things are, with our UPCD, they did increase this year. That had to do a lot with the type of precipitation or the lack of precipitation that we had in the winter or the summer season, apologize. But we should end the year with possibly at the same UPC that we started. We just gotta see how it turns out in regards to like this next 2 months or last 2 months of the year. I kind of skipped this conversation, but we are in stage 0. We are providing 3 steps to landscape success class. In the last 3 classes, we've already had like almost like 300 participants. Tomorrow we're teaching a class and we have 225 people signed up. That's a 1-hour class, and typically what we see is that people reduce their demand after taking this class about 3%, which is pretty good just by learning how to take care of systems. In this case, we're talking about winterizing system and avoiding leaks. And in regards to like marketing and driving conservation messaging, in a drought year, typically what we do is that we augment the amount of marketing that we do. As you can see in this slide, we augment our outdoor radio, television, digital printing by 36%. What that means is that we add more money to promote our rebates and get people to sign up for our classes and so forth. We've been focusing a lot on the water by numbers for the last 20 years. People tend to respond to that, so really that campaign hasn't changed much since it started, but we have had some twists and focusing on participation in our rebates. And this is some of the exhibits of billboards and so forth that we put on bill inserts, but also through media and billboards. And with that, I stand for questions.
Questions from the board?
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it's my turn this month, so I'll say, you know, in a time where it feels like we are all aware that we are in a long-term drought, having a drought stage 0 seems counter to thinking, and I think we should be expending resources and efforts to minimize water use at all times. So I just feel like that stage 0 is very misleading to the public. We are still having a water shortage problem, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
I'll
Thank you, Vice Chair.
tag on to that and just say, you know, it's aridification, right? That's what we're experiencing. In addition to drought years, drought is still a real thing, and years that are drier than normal, and sometimes we get the average, not so many of the super wet years anymore. But you know, the scientific trends are very clear that we are aridifying. You know, we're looking at a climate where in 50 years we're going to look a lot more like El Paso than like Albuquerque, and that's just moving north. So I think we just have to continue to push. You know, these are very creative and good ways to push that message out. But I think in the long run, looking at how we talk to the public about climate change and about the reality that things are changing and they're not going to go back.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One of the things that we're doing this winter is that we're also looking at updating our ways that we can amplify our water conservation water waste ordinance to require folks to fix malfunctions faster and restrain themselves from having overflow and overspray issues. We've seen that tends to work. So we're really focusing on how we can advance our conservation program through the non-functional project, through other climate resiliency strategies that might indulge. One of the things that we've noticed is that for the benefit of Albuquerque is that in the last 8 years, our demand total has really not changed. The UPCD has fluctuated because that has to do with a lot with population increase, active connections, inactive connections. But in regards to our demand, it's really averaged about the same for the last 8 years. And so when we look at whether or not demand is being increased or is going down, ideally we would like to see that demand going down, but at least we're seeing that it's averaged about the same. And what we hope for is to continue reducing that demand while allowing some population growth here in Albuquerque.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else from board members? Not seeing any. That will conclude our last item. Thank you for your report. And with that being said, this meeting is adjourned.